Welcome to BVU Theater Remembers, the wit and wisdom of Shakespeare in replay. I'm Bethany Larson.
And I'm David Walker. To commemorate Buena Vista University Theater's department as it comes to an end, we're showing a series of past Shakespeare productions accompanied by recent clips of theater alumni performing Shakespeare's monologues and sharing memories of their time in the department.
In one of these clips, Hannah Anderson shares a memory from her time in BVU Theater.
Hi, I'm Hannah Jo Anderson, and I graduated from BV in 2014. I have a lot of memories from theater, but I think one of my favorites probably comes from my sophomore year when we did Doubt, and I played Sister Aloysius, otherwise known as the Mean Nun, and we did that show in the round, so we were really, really close to the audience, and if they said anything, we could pretty much hear it no matter what. And one night I was doing this really dramatic scene with Stephen Condon, who was playing the priest in the show, and I just heard this woman lean over to her friend and go, "She's a real bitch." And I just kind of was like, try to stay in the moment, because I knew she was talking about me, but it was just so funny and just like also kind of gave me a little bit of like a self high five for being like, you did it, good job. So yeah, that was one of my favorite memories from theater at BB.
Thank you, Hannah. We are closing this series with BVU's 2016 production of the iconic and tragic Romeo and Juliet. Oh, I wanted to do this show so much, David.
Yes.
And I've been in it twice.
At least?
At least twice. So I knew a lot about the play and I knew how I wanted it to go.
It was interesting because we basically threw out what almost anybody has ever done with this particular script and went a completely different direction with it, which was fun because anytime as a designer or director doing any type of show that everybody and their uncle does, finding a different way of doing it, and in my estimation, doing it better is always a challenge. So that makes a difference there. So it's time to dive into the world of the two star-crossed lovers. Here is BVU Theater's 2016 production of Romeo and Juliet.
I think you should read it.
A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life,
whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do
with their death
bury their parents' strife,
the fearful passage of their death-marked love,
and the continuance of their parents' rage,
which but their children's end not could remove,
is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage,
the which, if you with patient ears attend,
what years shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be colliers.
I mean, and we being collar, will draw.
Aye, while you live, draw your neck out of collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runst away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. Therefore, I will push Montague's men from the wall.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
Oh, 'tis true, and therefore women, being the weaker vessel, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall.
Draw thy tool, here comes the house of Montagues. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
But do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law by our side if I say aye?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
Oh, but if you do, I am for you. I serve just as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow. Oh! Oh!
Villain Capulet, hold me not! Let me go!
Thou shalt after one crossing.
Oh!
Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by the old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments, and wield old partisans in hands as old. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. Montague, come you this afternoon to know our farther pleasure in this case. To old Freetown, our judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Oh, right glad I am he was not of this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window to the east, a troubled mind drave me to walk abroad. For underneath the grove of sycamore that westward rooteth from the city side, so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood.
Many a morning hath he there been sin, with tears augmenting to the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs.
But also soon as the all-cheering sun should in the farthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, away from light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself.
Shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
See where he comes, so please you step aside. I'll know his grievance or be much denied.
I would thou were so happy by thy stay to hear church read.
Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short?
In love.
Out.
Of love.
Out of her favor where I am in love. Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should without eye see pathways to thy will. Thou, where shall we dine? Oh, me, would Frey was here, yet tell me not, for I've heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs, being purged of fire sparkling in lovers' eyes. being vexed to see nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my coz.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have left myself. I am not here, this is not Romeo, he's some other where.
Tell me, in sadness, who is that you love?
What, should I groan and tell thee?
Groan, why no, but sadly tell me who.
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right fair mark, man, and she's fair I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow, for she hath Dian's wit. And in strong proof of chastity well armed from love's weak childish bow, she lives unharmed. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
He that is stricken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Farewell.
Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
But Montague is bound as well as I, and penalty alike. 'Tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my daughter's yet a stranger in this world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her right to be a bride.
Younger than she, a happy mother's maid.
Too soon marred are those so early made. But woo her, gentle Paris. Get her heart, my will to her consent is but a part. Tonight I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest such as I love. And you among the store, one more most welcome makes my number more. At my poor house, look to behold this night. Earth-treading stars that make dark heaven light. Come, go with me. Go, Sarah, trudge about through Faverolles. Find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say, my house, and welcome on the pleasure stay.
Find out whose names are written here. I am sent to find those persons whose names are here written. Can never find names a writing person hath here writ. I must to the learned in good time. God give you good day, I pray, sir. Can you read?
Aye, mine own fortune in my misery.
Perhaps you learned it without book, but I pray, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
You say honestly, rest you merry.
Stay, fellow. I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, the County Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitruvio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, mine uncle Capulet and his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline and Livia, Signor Valencio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up.
Whither?
To our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is a great rich Capulet, and if you be not of the house of Montagues, I pray come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you married.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets sups the fair Rosaline whom thou so loves with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither and with unattainted eye compare her face to some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thou swan a crow.
One fairer than my love? The all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Tut! You saw her fair, none else being by, herself poised with herself in either eye. But in that crystal scales let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maids, that I will show you shining at this feast, and she shall scant show well what now seems best.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now by my maiden head at 12-year-old, I bid her come. What live? What ladybird? God forbid. Where's this girl? What? Juliet?
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou'st hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter is of a pretty age.
My faith, I can tell her age into an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth, but to my teen be it spoken, I have but 4. She's not 14. How long is it now till Anna's died?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd, of all days of the year, come Lumas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry, I remember it well, since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I should never forget it of all days of the year. Upon that day, I had laid wormwood on the nipple of my dog, sitting in the sun under the doghouse wall. My lord and you were then in Mantua, nay, I do bear a brain. But as I said, when I did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dog and felt it bitter, pretty full, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dog. And since that time it is 11 years. And she could stand high, low, nay, by the rood. She could have run and waddled about even the day before she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the child. Yeah, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy back? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dame, the pretty wretch left crying and saying, "Aye." And to see now how a jest should come about, I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years, I should never forget it. Yea, quoth my husband. Will thou not, Jewel? It stinted and said I.
Enough of this. I pray thee hold thy peace.
Yeah, madam. But I cannot choose but love, to think it should leave crying and say I. And yet I warrant it had upon its brow a bump as big as a Younkerkel stone, a perilous knock, and it cried bitterly. Yeah, quoth he, false upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou comes to age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? It stinted and said, I.
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wert the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary. That Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, what stands your disposition to be married? It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor? Were I not thine only nurse? I'd say thou sucked wisdom from the teat.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. On my account, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man? Young lady, such a man as all the world, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman?
I look to like if looking like you move, but no more deep line dart mine eye.
And your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guests are come, supper is served up. You called, my young lady asked for, the nurse goes in the pantry, and everything at extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girl. See happy nights to happy days.
Give me a torch. I am not for this evening. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I. Believe me, you have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground, I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore, and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers. And so bound I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it, should you burden love, too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like a thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in. A visor for a visor. What care I? What curious eye doth quote deformities? Here the beetle brows shall blush for me.
Come and knock and enter, and no sooner in, but every man betake him to his legs.
Torture me, let wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
And so did I.
What was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Ah, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her chariot an empty hazelnut, her wagon spokes made of long spinner's legs, the traces of the smallest spiderweb, the collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, and in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Or courtiers' knees who dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream. Which oft the angry Mab with blisters plague, sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches ambuscados, of Spanish blades, of helps 5 fathoms deep, and then anon drums in his ear, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very Mab that plaits the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf-locks in foul sluttish hairs, which, once untangled, much misfortune bodes. This is that very Mab, when ladies lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talk'st of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the child of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air.
This wind you talk of blows from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin its fearful take of this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life close to my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen.
Strike a drum.
Welcome, gentlemen! Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns shall walk about with you. Ah, my mistresses! Which of you will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she elsewhere hath corns. Am I come near ye now? Welcome, gentlemen! Oh, I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ears, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. Now you're welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play!
What lady's that doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear, beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellow shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy.
What? Dares the slave come hither with an antic face to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead I hold it not a sin.
Oh, now, kinsman, wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he that villain, Romeo.
Oh, content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears himself like a portly gentleman, and say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth, and I would not for the wealth of all this town, here in my house, so indeed. Why must you contrary me? But dearly my heart! You are princocks, go! Be quiet, or for shame, more light, for shame. I'll make you quiet. Go to! But dearly my heart!
Patience perforce with willful calmer meaning makes my flesh tremble with their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. My lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much. Which mannerly devotion shows in this? For saints have hands which pilgrims' hands do touch, but palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
I, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus, from my lips by thine, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips? O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Mother, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor. Her mother is a lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nurse her daughter that you talked with all. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chicks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh dear, count my life as my foe's debt.
Away, be gone, the sport is at its best.
So I fear the more is my unrest.
Oh, nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling and foolish banquet towards. Is it e'en so? Well, then I thank you. Come, let's to bed. More torches, here, come. Ah, Sirrah, by my fate waxes late. I'll to my rest.
Come hither, nurse. Who is he who follows here that would not dance?
I know not.
Go, ask his name if he be merry, and my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learn even now, one I danced withal.
Juliet! No. Come, let's away. The strangers are all gone.
Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie,
and young affection gapes to be his heir.
That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair.
Now Romeo is beloved and loves again.
Alike bewitched by the charm of looks, but to his foe suppose he must complain.
And she still loves sweet bait from fearful hooks.
Being held a foe, he may not have access.
To breathe such vows as lovers used to swear.
And she as much love her means much less.
To meet her new beloved anywhere.
But passion lends them power,
Time means to meet.
tempering extremities with extreme sweet.
Can I go forward when my heart is still here? Oh, turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
He is wise, and on my life hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leaped this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Oh, nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Humors! Madman, passion, lover! I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the domains that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou will appear to us.
And if he hears thee, thou wilt anger him. Come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here, that means not to be found.
He just has scars that never felt a wound. Soft, but light through yonder window breaks.
It is the east, and Juliet is the sun.
Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon.
Who is already sick and pale with grief,
That thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious.
Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it.
Cast it off! It is my lady. Oh, it is my love.
Oh, that she knew she were! She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that?
Of her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks.
Two of the fair stars in all the heaven having some business to entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return.
What if her eyes were there, they in her head?
The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp.
Her eyes in heaven were through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night.
See how she leans her cheek upon her hand?
Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
Oh, speak again, bright angel.
For thou art as glorious to this night being o'er my head as is a winged messenger of heaven.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou
Romeo?
Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not be but sworn my love and no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague.
What's Montague?
It's nor hand,
Nor foot,
Nor arm,
nor face.
nor any other part belonging to a man.
Oh, be some other name.
What's in a name?
that which we call a rose, by any other name would smell as sweet.
So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes. Without that title,
Romeo doff thy name.
And for that name which is no part of thee,
take all myself.
I take thee at thy word.
Call me beloved, and I'll be new baptized.
Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
what man art thou that thus bescreened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am.
My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself.
Because it is an enemy to thee.
Had I it written, I would tear the word.
I've not yet heard 100 words of that tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound.
Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place doth, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out.
And what love can do, that dares love attempt.
Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords.
Look thou but sweet.
And I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes.
And but thou love me, let them find me here.
My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel.
And I lent him eyes.
I am no pilot. If it were thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I should adventure for such merchandise.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face.
Else would a maiden blush or paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight.
Fain would I dwell unformed, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment.
Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word.
Yet if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false.
At lovers' perjuries they say Jove laughs. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully.
Or, if thou thinkst I'm too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse, and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo.
But tells not for the world. Yet, in fair Montague, I am too fond.
And therefore thou mayst think my behavior light.
But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange.
I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was where my true love's passion.
Therefore not impute this yielding to light's love which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I vow that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon,
The inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb.
lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What should I swear by?
Do not swear at
all.
Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self.
Which is the God of my idolatry. And I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love.
Well, do not swear.
Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight.
It's too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning, which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens.
Sweet, good night.
This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, as sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
And wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
Thy exchange of thy faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again, and yet I wish for but the thing I have.
My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
I hear some noise within, dear love, adieu.
Anon, good nurse! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night! I am afeard being a knight, all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed.
If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee. Where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, to follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam,
I come anon.
but if thou meanst not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam,
By and by I come, to cease thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worst who want thy light.
Love goes toward love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Romeo,
My love,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send for thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Well, let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I loved thy company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone.
And yet no further than a wanton's bird that lets it further a little from her hand.
Like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves with the silken thread thrusts it back again, so loving, jealous of his liberty.
Or would I were thy bird?
Sweet, so would I.
Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night.
Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep well upon thine eyes.
Peace in thy breast.
Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest.
Hence will I to my ghostly friar cell.
His help to crave, and my dear have to tell. Now, ere the sun advances burning high, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. The earth that's nature's mother is her tomb. What is her burying grave? That is her womb. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good but strained from that fair use revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice, sometime by action, dignified. Within the infant rind of this weak flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For this being smelled with that part cheers each part, being tasted slays all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant. Good morrow, Father. Benedicite. What early tongue so sweet saluted me? Young son, it argues that his tempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art aroused with some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight. That last is true, the sweeter rest was mine. God pardon sin, whilst thou with Rosaline.
Oh, with Rosaline, ghostly father, no. I forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's my good son, but where hast thou been, then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it again. I've been feasting with my enemy. Where on a sudden one hath wounded, that's by me wounded. Both are remedies, within my help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Oh, then plainly know, my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine. And all combined, save what thou must combine, by holy marriage, when and where and how we met, we wooed, and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis! What a change is here! Is Rosaline, that thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself, and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline.
Thou chidst me oft for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badst me very love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide me not, her I love now. Doth grace for grace and love for love allow, the other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote that could not spell.
But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect, I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence!
I stand on sudden hate!
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil can this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's, I spoke with his man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline torments him so he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life?
Romeo will answer it.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead. Stabbed with the white wench's black eye, run through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind boy's butt shaft, and he is the man to encounter Tybalt.
Why, what is Tybalt?
Why, he is more than the prince of cats. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion. He rests his mem on rest, 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist. A duelist.
Here comes Romeo, here comes Romeo.
Ah, Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man restrained courtesy.
Why, is this not better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo.
Here's goodly gear. A sail, a sail.
Two, a shirt and a smock.
Peter? My
Madame!
Peter.
Good Peter, a fan for her face, for her fan is the fairer face.
God give good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good day, fair gentle woman.
Is it a good day?
'Tis no less, I tell ye. For the hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! What a man are you?
A gentleman, nurse, that God had made himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said. For himself to mar, quoth he? Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you have sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
If you be his sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Oh, abad, so ho. Romeo, will you come to your father's? We'll to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady, lady,
Lady?
Pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was that was so full of his robbery?
A gentleman nurse that loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And he speak anything against me, I'll take him down, and he will less here than he is, and 20 set chaps. And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. None, none of his warriors have none of his kindsmates. And you two shall stand there and watch every scurvy knave to use me at his pleasure?
I saw no man use you at his pleasure. If I had my weapon, quickly should have been out. I warrant I dare draw as soon as another man if I see occasion in a good quarrel and the law on my side.
No, for God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave! I pray you, sir, I'll warn you. Now, I told you my young lady beat me and pour you out. Now what you beat me say, I'll keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if you should lead the young lady in a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a gross kind of behavior, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young. And therefore, if you should deal double with her, it will an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman and a very weak dealer.
Commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart, my faith. I'll tell her as much. Lord, she'll be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse?
I will tell her that you do protest, which as I take it, is a gentleman-like offer.
Bid her divine. Some means to come trip this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence's cell be strived and married. Here is for thy pains.
No, not truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
Well, this afternoon, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within the hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which, to the high-top gallant of my joy, must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains.
Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter!
And I!
Before I peace.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore, do nimble-pinied doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind-swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 to 12 is 3 long hours, yet she has not come. Ah, had she affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes! Oh honey, nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter! Hi! Stay at the gate.
Now, good sweet nurse. Lord, why look'st thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jolt have I.
Would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face be better than any man, yet his leg excel all men's. And for a hand, and a foot, and a body, though they be not to be talked upon, yet their past compare. He is not the flaw of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as soft as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What have you done at home?
No, but all this I did know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh Lord, how my head aches. Oh, what a head have I? It beats as it will fall in 20 pieces. My back. The other side. My back. Be sure you're for sending me about to catch my death by jolting up and down.
faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says like an honest gentleman, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How wisely thou repliest. Your love says like an honest gentleman. Where is your mother?
God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforth, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then how you has to Friar Lawrence cell? There stays a husband to make you a wife. There goes the wanton blood in your cheeks. They will be scarlet straight at any news. Hie to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by which your love must climb a bird's nest. Soon when it is night, I am the door and Trajan toll in your delight, but you shall suffer the burden soon when it is night. I'll to church. Go.
Hie to high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act that after hours with sorrow chideth not.
Amen, amen, but come what sorrow can. It cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss, consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness. Therefore love moderately. Long love doth so, too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady. Oh, so light a foot will ne'er wear out the everlasting flint.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for his bow.
As much to him else is his thanks too much.
Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweetly in thy mouth this neighbor air.
More rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. Ye are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love's grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come with me, and we shall make short work, for by your leaves you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the capels are abroad, and if we meet we shall not escape a brawl. For now these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup draws him on the drawer.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come. Thou art as soon moved to be moody as soon moody to be moved. Why, thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my head, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good day. A word with one of you.
And but a word with one of us? Couple it with something, make it a word, and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort! What? Dost thou make us minstrels, and thou make minstrels of us? Look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick, here's that shall make you dance, zounds. Consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place, or reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to gaze, and let them look. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
And I'll be hanged, sir, if he wear your livery.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell, I cease thou knowest me not.
Boy, this does not excuse the injuries thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst do. than thou canst devise till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good captain, whose name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, call, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Oh, good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. I am for you.
Gentlemen, for shame! Forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince have expressly forbid this banding in Verona's streets. Home, Tybalt! Good Mercutio!
Church door, but it is enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I'm peppered, I warrant, for this world. A plague on both your houses, zounds. A dog, a cat, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death, a braggart, a rogue, a villain, fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. Plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, got this mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt just an hour hath been my cousin. Oh, sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead.
As but begins the woe, others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph and Mercutio slain, away to heaven respective lenity, in fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gavest me, for Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy that did consort him here, shall with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away, be gone! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence be gone away.
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me. I charge thee in the name of the prince, obey.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo. Death slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, Tybalt, my cousin, oh my brother's child. Prince, oh husband, oh the blood it spilled of my dear kinsman. Princess, thou art true for blood of ours, shed blood of Montagues. Oh cousin, cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
shall purchase out abuses, therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately.
Spread thy close curtain, love performing night, that runaway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms untalked of and unseen.
Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties. Or if love be blind, then it best agrees with night.
Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods.
Let my unmantled blood beating in my cheeks with thy black mantle,
till strange love grown bold.
Act in simple modesty.
Come night, come Romeo, come thou day and night.
For thou will lie upon the wings of night, whiter than a new snow upon a raven's back.
Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night, give me my Romeo.
And when he shall die, take him and cut him in little stars.
And who will make the face of heaven so fine
that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun.
Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it, and soul not yet enjoyed.
So tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes, and cannot wear them. Oh, here comes my nurse. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo bid thee fetch.
High court.
Ay me. But what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oh, well a day. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Oh, baby, we are undone. We are undone.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Whoever would have thought it? Romeo?
Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, and that bare vowel I shall poison more.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark. Here, in his manly breast. A piteous corpse, a bloody piteous corpse. Pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, or in gore blood, I swooned at the sight.
Oh, break my heart, poor bankrupt, break at once.
Oh, Tybalt, best friend I've had. Oh, honest Tybalt, courteous gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered, and is Tybalt dead? My dearest cousin and my dearer lord.
Tybalt is dead, and Romeo is banished. Romeo that killed him is banished.
Oh, God! Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Alas, the day he did.
Oh, serpent heart hid with a flowering face, did ever dragon keep so fair a Kate? Dove-feathered raven, wolfish ravening lamb, despised substance of divinest show, was ever a book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There's no faith, no trust, no honesty, all not, all perjured, all forsworn, all dissemblers. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit. Oh, what a beast I was to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. My husband lives that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead that would have slain my husband. All of this is comfort, wherefore weep I then. Some word there was worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Romeo's banished, that one word, banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or if sour woe delights in fellowship, and needly will be ranked with other griefs. Why followed not what she said? Romeo's banished. Romeo's banished to speak that word. His father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Where is my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt corpse. Will you go to them? I'll bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry, for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords. Poor ropes, you are beguiled, both you and I, for Romeo's exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed, but I, a maid, thy maiden widowed. Come, cords, come, nurse, all to my wedding bed. And death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie to your room. I'll bring you Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark ye to your chamber. Your Romeo will be here at night. All to him. He's hid at Lauren's cell.
I'll find him. Give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man.
What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips, not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look. There is no world without Verona's walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself.
Oh, deadly sin! Oh, rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law, and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing lives here in heaven and may look upon her. But Romeo may not, he is banished.
Thou fond mad man, hear me a little speak.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity's sweet milk philosophy, to comfort thee though thou art banished.
Yet banished! Hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom, it helps not, it prevails not, talk no more.
But then I see that madmen have no ears.
How should they when wise men have no eyes?
We dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, and doting like me, and like me banished, then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself. Hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, rise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while. Stand up! Run to my study. By and by, God's will, what simpleness is this? I come. Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What is your will?
Let me come in and I will tell you my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome, man.
Oh, holy friar, oh, holy friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground with his own tears made drunk.
He's even in my mistress's case, just in her case. Oh, awful sympathy, piteous predicament. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand up, stand up for Juliet's sake. For her sake, rise and stand.
Nurse!
God, that's the end of it all.
Speaks of Juliet. How is it with her? Doth she not think me an old murderer now that I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removing but little of her own? Where is she, and how doth she, and what says my concealed lady to her cancelled love?
She says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and then falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and on Romeo cries, and down falls again.
That name, as if shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her, as that name's hand did murder her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me, that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand!
Thou hast amazed me.
By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself? And slay thy lady that in thy life now lives, by doing damned hate upon thyself? What? Rouse thee, man, that Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. The Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns to exile. There art thou happy. A path of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a mishaven and sullen wench, thou pouts upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed for such thy miserable. Go, get thee to thy love as was decreed. Ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before, nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them act unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you'll come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, sir, a ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie your haste, for it grows very late.
Oh, how my comfort is revived by this.
Go hence. Good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day, disguised from hence, sojourn to Mantua. I'll find your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap to you that chances here. Give me thy hand. Wait. Farewell. Good night.
But that a joy past joy call out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, it's very late. She'll not come down tonight.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she's mewed up in her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her mark you me on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday is too soon. On Thursday let it be. On Thursday she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. On Thursday be it then. Go you to her ere you go to bed. Prepare her against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho! Afore me it is so very late that we may call it early by and by. Good night.
'tis not yet near day. It was the nightingale, not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yond light is not daylight. I know it, I. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not be gone.
Let me be tamed. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon grey is not the morning's eye. Or that is the lark whose notes do beat the vaulty heavens so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come death, and welcome, Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk, it is not day.
It is. It is. Hie hence, be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discord and unpleasing sharps. Oh, now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light in light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse?
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day's broke. Be wary. Look about.
Then window let day in, and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell, one kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, Lord, I, husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell, I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Thinkest thou we will ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our times to come.
Oh, I have an ill-divined soul. Methinks I see thee now. Thou art so low as one dead at the bottom of a tube. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookst pale.
And trust me, love, my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Oh, fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What? Wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears?
And yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, I cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepst not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him, I do with all my heart. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
Aye, madam, from the reach of these my hands.
But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
If joy comes well in such a needy time, what are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast to grow careful, father child. One who to put thee from thy heaviness hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expects not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Mary, my child. Early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the county Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed, ere he that should be my husband comes to woo. I pray thee tell my father, madam, that I will not marry, and when I do, I swear it will be Romeo, whom you know I hate rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he shall take it at your hands.
How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you. Take me with you, wife. How will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bride?
Not proud that you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, and thankful e'en for what is meant love.
How now? Chop logic! What is this? Proud and I thank you not? And yet not proud, mistress minion you? Thank me no thank yous, nor proud me no prouds, but feather your fine joints against Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on the hurdle thither. Out you greet sickness, carry on, you baggage, you tallow face.
Fie, what are you, mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience but to speak a word.
Oh, hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church at Thursday, or ne'er after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. Now I see this one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her. Out on our Hilding.
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady wisdom? Hold your tongue, good prudence. Smatter with your gossips, go.
I speak no treason.
Oh, God give ye good day.
May not one speak?
Oh, peace, you mumbling fool! Out of your gravity or gossip's bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
Oh, God's bread, it makes me mad! Day, night, work, claim, still my care hath been to have her matched, and then now having provided a gentleman of noble parentage, proportioned as one would wish a man, and then to have a wretched, puling fool to answer, I'll not wed. I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me. But if you'll not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it, I do not use to jest. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advise. You be mine, and I give you to my friend. You be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul, I'll ne'er acknowledge thee. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a week, a month, or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not say a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? What sayest thou? Hast thou not some word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Hey, here it is. Romeo is banished and all the world to nothing that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as it doth, I think it best you're married with the county.
Oh,
no. He's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a disclouch to him. An eagle, madam, has not so green, so fair, so quick an eye as Paris doth. Be sure, my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good he were, as you living hence, no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, else be sure them both.
Amen.
What?
You have helped me marvelous much. Go in and tell my mother that I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will. This is wisely done.
Ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend, is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor, thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain.
Until the friar's nose remedy, if all else fail, myself will have the power to die.
Thursday, sir. This time is very short.
My father, Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Of course, I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she do give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage.
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be away.
Well, that may be, must be love on Thursday next.
What must be, shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Well, do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye. I am sure that you love me.
If I do so, it will be more of price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul. Thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory by that, for is bad enough before their spite.
Oh, thou wrongest it more than tears with that report.
It is no slander, sir, which is a truth, and to what I spake it to my face.
Well, thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, holy father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse you. Until then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come weep with me, past hope, past cure, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee to Romeo's seal shall be the label to another deed. Or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Be not so low to speak, I want to die.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope which craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. If rather than to marry County Paris thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame? And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris from the battlements of any tower, or hide me nightly in a charnel house, or covered quite with dead men's rattling bones, or bid me go into a new-made grave, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home. Be married. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, would that thou lie alone. Let not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial. Being then in bed, and this distilling liquor drink thou off. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor. For no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou liv'st. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to paly ashes. Thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shuts up the day of life. Each part deprived of supple government shall, stiff and stark and cold, appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awakest from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes, uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be born to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo, by my letters, know our drift. And hither shall he come, and he and I shall watch thy waking. And that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua, and this shall free thee from thy present shame, if no unconstant toy, nor womanish fear Abate thy valor in the acting it.
Give me. Tell me not to fear.
Hold, get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
So many guests invite us, here are writ. Sirrah, go hire me 20 cunning cooks.
We shall be much furnished in this time.
What, has my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from, shrift with a merry look.
How now, my headstrong, where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behest, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here to beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. We'll have this not knit up tomorrow.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence cell and gave him what to become in love I might not o'erstepping the bonds of modesty.
Why, I'm glad on it. This is well. Stand up. This is as it should be. Oh, let me see. The county! Aye, Mary, go, fetch him hither. Oh, now, for God, this Friar Lawrence, our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There's time enough.
Oh, go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provisions. 'Tis now near night.
Oh, tush. All things shall be well, I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet, help to deck up her. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play the housewife for this once. What ho! Oh, they are all forth. I will walk myself to county parish to prepare up him against this wedding day. Oh, my heart is wondrous light since the same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Aye, those attires are best put, gentle nurse. I pray thee leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou know'st is cross and full of sitting.
What, are you busy? Need you my help?
No, madam. We have called such necessaries which are behooveful for our state tomorrow, so please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast sleep.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again.
I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life.
I'll call them back again to comfort me.
Nurse!
What should she do here?
My dismal scene I needs must act alone.
Come, vile!
What if this mixture do not work at all?
Shall I then be married tomorrow morning?
No, no. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there.
What if it be a poison, which the friar hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored, because he had married me before to Romeo?
Fear it is. And yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, that I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me?
Fearful point.
Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in?
And there die strangled ere my Romeo comes.
Or if I live,
Is it not very like the horrible conceit of death at night?
Together with the terror of the place.
as in a vault.
An ancient receptacle.
Wherefore these many hundred years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed.
Where bloody Tybalt
Still but green in earth.
lies festering in his shroud.
Where?
As they say.
At some hours in the night.
Spirits resort!
It is not like that I so early waking.
What with loathsome smells?
And shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth.
And leaving mortals hearing them run mad.
Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears?
Madly play with my forefathers' joints.
And pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud. And in this rage with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club dash out my desperate brains. Oh, look! Methinks I see my cousin's ghost, seeking out Romeo that did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay!
Romeo, I come. This
not a word. Take you your pennyworths now. Sleep for a week, for the county Paris hath set up his rest. That you shall rest but little. God forgive me. Mary and amen. How sound she is asleep. I needs must wake her. Madam, madam, madam. Aye, let the county take you in your sleep. He'll fright you up by faith. Will he not? What? In your clothes? And dressed? And down again? I needs must wake you. Lady, lady, lady. Oh, alas, alas! Help, help! Oh, my lady's dead. Oh, when the day the emperor was born. Oh, Samara, my lord, my lady!
What noise is here?
Oh, look, heavy day.
What's the matter?
Oh, lamentable day.
Me, my child, my only life revived. Look up, or I will die with thee. Help! Help! Call help!
For shame! Bring Juliet forth, her lord has come!
Oh, she's dead, she's deceased, dead. Alas, the day. Oh,
Ha! Let me see her. Ouch! Alas! She is cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Oh, life and these lips have long been separated. Oh. Death that hath ta'en her hints will now make me wail.
oh, lamentable day.
Woeful time.
It ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Oh, ready to go but never to return. Oh, son, the night before thy wedding day, death hath lain with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law, death is my heir. My daughter hath he wedded. I will die and leave him all life living, all his deaths.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face? And doth it give me such a sight as this?
Cursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day. This woeful hour that ere time saw. One poor and loving child, with one poor thing to rejoice and solace in, the cruel death had catched it from my sight.
Oh, woeful day. Most lamentable day, most woeful day that ever I did yet behold. Oh day, hateful day. Never was seen so black a day as this. Oh, woeful day.
He guiled, divorced, wrong, and spited, slain. Detestable death by thee beguiled. O love, O life. Not life, but love in death.
Despised, distressed, hated, martyred, killed. Oh, uncomfortable time, why camest thou now to murder our solemnity? Oh, child, my soul and not my child. Dead art thou, alack, my child is dead. And with my child, my joy is buried.
Peace, oh, for shame. Confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now, heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Your partner you could not keep from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you sought was her promotion, for 'twas your heaven she should be advanced. And weep ye now, seeing she is advanced above the clouds as high as heaven itself. Dry up your tears and stick your rosemary on this fair corpse, and as the custom is, all in her best array, bear her to the church.
All things that we ordain at festival turn from their office to black funeral, our instruments to melancholy bells, our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast, our solemn hymns to solemn dirges change. All things change them to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam go with you. And go, Sir Paris, everyone, prepare to follow this fair corpse unto her grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill. Rule them no more by crossing their high will.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's Lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with joyful thoughts. I dream my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathes such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how is love itself possessed when but love's shadows are so rich in joy? News from Verona. How now, Balthazar, dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars! Thou knowst my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid you do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter, get thee gone. And hire those horses. I will be with thee straight. Oh, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see from means. O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I remember an apothecary. And hereabouts he dwells, which late I noted, in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows. Sharp misery had worn him to the bone. Noting his penury to myself, I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch, must sell it him. Oh, the same thought did but forerun my need, and the same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. What ho, apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man, I see that thou art poor. Hold, there is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any here that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness and fearst to die? Famine is in thy cheeks. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. Need and oppression starveth in thy eyes. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it will dispatch you straight.
There's thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls. Doing more murder in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial, and not poison, and go with me to Juliet's grave. For there I must use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar Brother, home!
This should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua.
What says Romeo, or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order to associate me, here in the city visiting the sick, And finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we were both in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who will bear my letter then to Romeo?
Could not send it. Here it is again.
Unhappy fortune! By my brotherhood! The letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it made you much danger. Friar John, go hence. Get me an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I will go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within these 3 hours will Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corpse closed in a dead man's tomb.
Give me thy torch, boy, and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen. Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew, with which water nightly I will dew, a wanting that with tears distilled by moans. The obsequies that I for thee will keep, nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. The boy gives warning. Something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight, to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What? Torch will muffle me night awhile.
Hold, take this letter. Early in the morning see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee, whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use in dear employment. Therefore hence be gone. But if thou, jealous, dost return to crime what I farther shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage, wild, more fierce, and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea.
I will be gone, sir, not trouble you.
So thou shalt show me friendship. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous. And farewell, good fellow. Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy round jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
This is that banished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin. With which grief it is supposed the fair creature died, and now has come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone, let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone! By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say of madman's mercy bid thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
I am slain.
if thou be merciful, open the tomb and lay me with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble County Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad hearing talk of Juliet to think it was so? A grave? Oh no. A lantern. Slaughtered youth! For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there by a dead man interred. How oft when men are at the point of death, have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death? Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that lean abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here will I remain. With worms that are thy chambermaids, oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run on thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love.
What's this? A cup closed in my true love's hand? My lips are warm.
Romeo?
Oh, hail! Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. I hear some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay.
Go! Get thee hence, for I will not away.
Lead on, which way?
Yea, doors. Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There rust and let me die.
Would wrong be bloody. Search above the churchyard.
Here lies the county slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm and new dead, who hath lain these 2 days buried. Go tell the prince, run to the Capulets, raise the Montagues, some other search. We see the ground whereon these woes do lie, but the true ground of all these piteous woes we cannot without circumstance decry.
Here is Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard.
Hold him in safety until the prince come thither.
And here is a friar that trembles, weeps, and sighs.
A great suspicion, stay the friar too.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning rest?
What should it be that is so shrieked abroad?
People in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry toward our monument.
What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the County Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
God, oh God, look how our daughter bleeds.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir.
Alas,
Now
my
early
lord.
down.
My wife is dead tonight. What further woe conspires against mine age? O thou untaught, what manner is in this, to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities. Bring forth the parties to suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected, as the time and place doth make against me of this direful murder. And here I stand both to impeach and purge myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say what thou dost know at once.
I shall be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo there dead was husband to that Juliet, and she there dead that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death did banish the new-made bridegroom from the city. For whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined you to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed, and would have married her perforce to County Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some means to rid her from the second marriage, or in my cell there would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime I wrote to Romeo that he should hither come as this dire night, to help to take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he who bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then all alone came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell, till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, here lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. I entreated her come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy. And if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before his time, unto the rigor of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and then in post he came from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death, going in the vault if I departed not and left him there.
Where's the county's page that raised the watch? Cyril, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and then I ran away to call the watch.
This letter doth make true the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate. That heaven should find means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand, for this is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I can raise her statue with pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall be no figure at such rate be set, as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo by his lady lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished.
For never was the story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Yeah, one of the things that was really crazy about how to put this thing together. There's so many moving parts and pieces. There's so many different places that you have to be.
But it's interesting you say there's so many moving parts and pieces because there were no parts and pieces
Yes,
moving.
that was the thing.
You created a unit set essentially with ramps and with cubby holes underneath, and you created those incredible light fixtures. I don't know how to.
Yeah, it was basically it was planks. One of the things that I do a lot of is I repurpose stuff that we have used before, and we actually used planks on Romeo and Juliet that we actually used on the set of translations.
Mm-hmm.
And so not translations, but Our Country's Good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was that early.
Wow.
Because we had them. But the thing is that I wanted it to look like a Greek play.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that idea of, what you would consider a Greek amphitheater kind of a feel. And then having the columns to actually intercept light.
Mm-hmm.
And so it made some of those scenes look really, really wicked and really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that was most mesmerizing for me was the balcony scene.
Yeah.
Because that scene is always one person's, right?
Yeah.
And
or she's up there, he's down here,
well,
nobody else is in the scene.
As an actor, how do you deal with that? I mean, so how did you do that as a director? What did you decide, or how did you decide to make everybody in that situation the character?
Yeah, so I have to admit that when I decided I wanted to do Romeo and Juliet, I wanted it to be the actor's play. I didn't want it to be the scenery play. I didn't want it to be the costume play, which often it becomes about the costumes. And I have been in a production before where I played Juliet as well as Lady Capulet in different scenes, and that felt like a really good choice to let everyone participate in the story of Romeo and Juliet. So all of the women got a chance to play Juliet in different scenes, and all of the men got to play Romeo in different scenes. And during that balcony scene, it's almost choral and Greek in that kind of way, but is also echoing, like they're talking, like Romeo and Juliet have these voices in their heads, and they're thinking about things in kind of broken ways.
Well, and that's, I've read that scene 100 times probably in my life in theater. And I understood it because in my brain, I read it like that. I said it like that. And I understood where they were diverting and what they were thinking about. That's the first time I've ever seen it in performance where people get that scene because different people were saying those different points of view. And it made sense at that particular moment. But it was also fun to watch because it was so integrated. But at the same time, it's so fluid that it sounded like it was one voice, which was really fun.
Yeah.
So
we hope you enjoyed BVU's 2016 production of Romeo and Juliet. Thank you to our wonderful alumni who submitted monologues and memories of their time in the program. Thank you to all who have supported our program over the years. And finally, thank you to those who are helping celebrate BVU Theater by tuning into this series.
thank you for joining us on BVU Theater Remembers the Wit and Wisdom of Shakespeare in Replay.